Welcome back to this week's episode of the Herd Huddle. We are coming to the end of Season 2 of the Huddle with conversations with our track coaches this week and our baseball coach next week. Today we are going to hear from our girls athletic director, Coach Garcia, and see what is going on with all of our sports at HISD. Then we will talk to Coach Huerta with girls track and Coach Garza with boys track to see how they are preparing for the regional tournament. Let's get started.
What's up, Herd Nation? Shout out to the 7th and 8th grade tennis team for bringing back some hardware from the Masters tournament in Amarillo this past weekend. They will finish the season playing at the district tournament this weekend in Canyon. Good luck to all of you. The varsity tennis team has come to a close as their season ends, and we want to take a moment to thank our athletes and coaches for their hard work, dedication, and for representing Hereford with pride all season long. A big thank you as well to our parents, administrators, and community for your continued support. It truly makes a difference. We appreciate each and every one of you. We are excited to have regional qualifiers on the boys and girls track and field teams competing this week in Lubbock. Best of luck to each of you as you represent Hereford. We are proud of you and know that you will all do great. Softball season has come to an end, and I want to take a moment to recognize and thank our players for their growth, hard work, and countless hours they dedicated to the game. Your commitment and progress throughout the season truly means a lot. Thank you to KPAN, the HISD media team, our administrators, teachers, Booster Club, and our entire community for the support you showed us all season long. Thank you. Good luck to our baseball team as they take on the Andrew Mustangs in a 2-out-of-3 game series this week in Littlefield. We look forward to seeing you compete and representing our community with grit and pride. Go Herd!
Coach Huerta, thank you for joining us today. So how has your season gone, and what are some moments that have really stood out to you?
Well, the season's gone really good with all the stuff that has come our way with soccer and basketball being able to advance and soccer finishing kind of late in the spring. We kind of got our kids out there, but I mean, we made the best of it with what we have, and we have 3 kids advancing to the regional meet.
So, like you said, we have several girls competing at the regional meet. What is the biggest focus going into this meet this week?
The biggest focus as far as for us and the girls is going to be the weather. They're talking about being a rainy morning, cold, and just for our sake, we're hoping for a little bit of that. The weather's going to play a big part as far as all those teams that are coming in from the south. They're not used to that cold weather like we are. So I think that plays into our advantage.
So who are your girls that are going, and what are they competing in?
Okay, we have Aslan Sallard competing in shot put. We have Taylor Hill competing in pole vault. And we have Gabriela Gonzalez competing in triple jump.
Well, best of luck to them this week. We're going to be cheering them on, and
yes,
hopefully
ma'am.
they do their best and make it to the next round.
That is what we're all hoping for.
So no matter the outcome, what do you hope that your girls take away from this season? You know, even the ones advancing to regionals and the ones that have already completed their seasons.
Well, we were young. We were very young. So those that are advancing to regionals, we have sophomores and freshmen in there. So them 2 sophomores, Taylor and Aslan, I mean, they're going to gain the experience of being out there with the competition. And then the little freshman, I mean, well, she doesn't know the whole level of competition that we're fixing to get to, but she's fixing to find out. So in that sense, I mean, just anybody, it doesn't matter what sport it is. When you get to that next level, it becomes easier in your high school career later on in the years when you've been there and you've seen it. And then for those that didn't get to advance, I mean, just the level of competition that we're going against every year, it makes a difference. And looking forward, you just got to work harder, put in the work.
Well, and Hereford has had so many podium finishes this year. It's been nice to see just us be able to compete with some of those, tough schools that we have in our district. And so y'all are doing a great job. The girls are doing a great job, and we like to see all the success coming from your program.
Hey, thank you, ma'am.
What has stood out to you about this group of girls this season?
The just the diversity that we have coming in. Like I said earlier, we have cross country girls moving on to track, soccer, cross country that went to soccer, then from soccer they came back to us, basketball girls coming out, volleyball girls. So we're just very diverse. So whenever you get a team that is just everybody the same, I think it's a little bit easier. But whenever you pull it in from all the other sports and everybody's playing in a big part, then you gotta get to see how everybody can interact with each other. So that way it makes it a little bit funner.
So how is that like coaching those, such a diverse group of girls? I know you and Coach Valenzuela are always putting in the extra work, but with having just so many different talents and skill sets from all the different sports, how's that like for y'all?
There's four of us out there. It's Coach Lopez, Coach McKelvey, and Coach Valenzuela. So I mean, me and Coach Valenzuela, we were around because of cross country, and we were able to put some of those distance kids. But whenever you bring in coaches from other sports and then kids from other sports, and they kind of start going all over the place, it's kind of hard to understand unless you're out there at the competitions. But whenever you start pulling all these kids, and then you have this different coaches come from other sports, we just kind of feed in, and we all have the same goal at the end of the day. We all want to be successful. We want those kids to have the best experience they can with success behind it.
Definitely. Well, Coach, is there anything you'd like to say to Herd fans before we close out today's episode?
Go Herd.
Perfect. Well, thank you for joining us today, and best of luck on the rest of y'all's season.
Thank you, ma'am.
Coach Garza, thank you for joining us today. So how has your season gone, and is there any moments that have really stood out to you so far?
Season's gone great. We have a lot of young ones that we use throughout the year. The things that stand out the most are probably the 2 school records that have gone down, and they've actually gone down multiple times, of course. Started out the year with Bricks breaking his own high jump record, and he broke it again last week. And Isaac finally breaking the 110 hurdle record, and then improving on that even more so in district. So you got 2 kids there that have broken their respective school records 2 times, and 1 kid that it was already his. So that's been exciting. That's been a lot of fun.
It's always exciting to just see the growth, especially in these kids that are already breaking records, to just break their records again.
Correct.
And just their growth throughout the years. And, they're setting their own goals for themselves, and they're untouchable almost. So we have several boys competing at regionals this week. What is the focus going into this meet?
Right now, we're just trying to focus on little things. For example, for Isaac, it starts. For Bricks, it's just getting comfortable with the new heights. With our triple jumpers, it's all about fresh legs. It's all about technique into the pit. Coach Garza coaches those guys, and Coach Umstead coaches the other 2. I'm kind of just the overseer right now, the way it's turned out. But we're really focused on one of our triple jumpers getting on the board, and just being consistent with his running, with his approach. One does a real good job of it. One has struggled a little. So I know Christian had him out there working on just approaches on the track, so he could get consistent in running. And we're just trying to get them to peak at the right moment. We understand what's in front of us. We understand it's only top 2 this time, and there's 16 entries in each event. So it's tough.
So who are your boys that are going to be competing this week, and what events are they competing in?
Okay, so Isaac is entered in the 110s and the 110 hurdles, 300 hurdles. He sits number 1 in the region in the 110s. Sits number 3 in the state, of course, with his best time. But you have to do it when you do it. 300s, he's sitting probably about 3 or 4 now in the region, and in the state, a little lower. It'll be tough to get to state in both. It's going to be tough to get in one, but we think his best chance is the 110 hurdles. Next up is Bricks. Bricks matching in the high jump. He sits number 2 in the region and number 2 in the state. So the best 2 state high jumpers right now are from our own district.
Wow.
And so that's helped them compete against each other. But again, high jump's tricky. You have to do it on that day. And luckily it's Saturday because there's supposed to be rain coming in Friday. Unfortunately for our triple jumpers, they have to compete on Friday in the rain. And, we have 2 kids that Coach Garza, Christian Garza, brought along slowly, and they peaked at district. Jackson Lucio is a sophomore. multi-athlete, plays basketball, made our JV go in football, very valuable to us. He really exploded out and improved his distance by about 2 feet. So our other triple jumper is Eddie Bessaril. He's only a freshman. He also went 43 feet at district. I think they both won 42 at area. So not quite as good at area as district, but they're still good enough to qualify. They qualified 3 and 4 at area. We have to understand what stands before us. There's 48-foot, 47-foot triple jumpers that they'll compete against. I'm excited for them to see them because I think being around them and seeing how they approach it is good for them. So we kind of understand going in, it's a goal just to get into the finals for them. Everybody has different goals, and for them, if we can have good jumps there, especially in the cold and the rain, which you never know how other kids are going to handle that from the city, where we've had meets where we've had to do the cold at least part. You just never know. I keep telling them, and everybody knows this, if you get into the finals of those events, you're one step away from state.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know. And it's same for Isaac and running. It's a little bit different for the high jump because you knock people out as you go along. There's no finals for high jump, but they know what's at stake and they know where they sit and they understand the expectations. And I think they're excited just to compete and see where they end up.
It's so exciting just to even get to the regional tournament. There's so many competitions and so many meets that have to happen before you even get to that point. And so having just a lot of athletes be able to just even compete and be there and just represent the Herd, I think is just an amazing achievement in itself.
Well, we think it is. We push that. We try to advance as many, and we didn't advance as many out of district, but the 4 that we advanced also advanced to regional. So we're very excited about that because, that's a lot, and I'm happy with the fact that we have a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. And so all the other freshmen are saying, hey, that could be me. All the sophomores, hey, that could be me. And so I think that helps our young kids because we had tons of young kids this year. At one point, I know my 2 of my short relays were basically sophomores and freshmen. And so I kept trying to explain to them, now, y'all are basically a JV team competing against varsity teams. So understand that it's going to help you down the line. I've had groups like this that did exactly what you're doing, and then by the time they were juniors and seniors, they stuck together and they were real good. The key is sticking them together, keeping them in it and hoping that they come back next year and repeat what they've done. So we're really excited about the future. And for a bunch of them that didn't make it, they know that their chances are coming.
Definitely. So regardless of the outcome of this week's meet, what are you hoping that your athletes get out of it, even the ones that are competing and the ones that their seasons have already ended?
Well, we always hope, like we do in all of athletics, that it's all about goal setting. It's all about working towards something that they can be proud of, giving maximum effort. If you do your best, you're good. I had a kid one time always telling me, I just don't want to let you down. I said, and I would tell him, your best is good enough for us. And that's how we feel about our kids. If you do your best, that's good enough for us. Do your best. Prepare yourself to do your best. And obviously, we believe in all our programs that athletics is an avenue for future growth as an adult. We strive on making them better people. Wins and losses, no matter what you're in, successes, just the pursuit of that excellence. We want that to transfer to them being good people, I tell my boys all the time, good husbands, good fathers, and they probably think that's a little bit cheesy, but that's what we believe. That's why I got into this business, because when I was a kid, I looked up to my coaches, and they helped me a lot to do that. I didn't want to let them down. And so I think our boys feel that same way.
Well, that's great. And it's always good to have coaches that have that mentality and just push our kids to do more than just athletics and push them to be good adults and
Correct.
Great workers and just so much that goes beyond, high school. And so it's nice to see that mentality in our staff here at Hereford.
We stay on them for grades. We stay on them for their behavior. We expect a lot from them. They represent us all the time, even when they're not wearing the uniform. And so I think they understand that, and they try to do their best. And I think overall they do a real good job.
What has stood out to you about this group of boys this season?
I think the way they root for each other, they're really excited for each other. I think the fact that they're all good sports, they root for their competitors. They congratulate their competitors. They do a good job of doing that. And I think just the sportsmanship, overall sportsmanship of helping each other and even helping the people they compete against has really stood out. It's fun to see, especially within our district, and I think it carries over to area. You know, we kind of watch each other and we know each other, and you know, we congratulate each other, and sometimes even when we end up behind them, you know, get beat, it's still a friendly rivalry between all of us.
You know, I've seen that actually a lot across all of our sports this year alone. I was at a golf tournament and watched one of the boys, you know, break out the sand pit for another kid that had, you know, kind of just mess up the pit. And then our tennis players, like, they were rooting on each other at district. And whenever someone hit a good shot, whether from West Plains or Canyon, you know, everybody's just, like, the sportsmanship this year has just been, I feel like, above and beyond. And our kids, we have such good kids that just, you know, look for more than just athletics, and they're just overall really good.
Especially in like track, you know, golf, tennis, you're going to see the same opponents in district over and over. It's not like baseball, you see twice, football, you see once, and there's still good sportsmanship there. But we're around each other a lot. You know, every week we're seeing some of these same teams, so we get very comfortable with each other. We're rivals, yes. We want to beat each other, yes. But they talk on the side. I watch them. I mean, it's a friendly rivalry. I mean, I think they root for each other. They want to see each other do well. They want to try as hard as they can to beat each other. But when it's done, hey, you know, you got the best of me, I got the best of you, and good luck in the next round.
That's always nice to see. I've enjoyed seeing that this year from all of our athletes.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything you would like to say to Herd fans before we close out today's episode?
Well, I know that it's going to be difficult for many people to get out Friday and Saturday, but I think you have a chance to see something pretty special. Friday, the weather's supposed to be awful. So if you can come out Saturday, it'd be great. Probably easier to get to Lubbock on a Saturday. You get to see something very special in for sure the high jumpers, our high jumper that day and our hurdle kid that day. They have a real good chance of getting to the next level. And anytime you can get to state from this area with the weather we have compared to other people, it's really good. So we appreciate the support we've had. We only had one track meet at home. We loved the atmosphere here at home that we had for the people that came out and watched. If you get a chance, get out there and root them on. You know, we have a couple girls competing as well, so you can root for the boys and girls for the Herd, and just appreciate what y'all have done all year for us.
Well, Coach Garza, thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck this week at y'all's meet.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Before we wrap up, we want to take a moment to recognize someone who helped make this show what it is today. Coach Naren has been a part of the Huddle since day one and even came up with the name itself. The impact Coach Naren had on this program, our athletes, and our community will always be a part of the Herd. We are grateful for his time spent here and wish him the best of luck on his new adventure. Go Herd!